Welcome to No Streets Test Street Ministry. Today I'd like to talk about a subject that's sort of starting a trend. A lot of people are misunderstanding van life. You have all the videos of all the glamour videos of people traveling and going to beautiful places, and they make it look like it's some kind of a very special event. Lots of freedom in life, just nothing but roses and peaches and cream. Is van life like that? No, and I think the reason that people put on those videos is really just to show you just how beautiful it can be. Mostly van life is how you accept it and perceive it in your own mind. If you go out there determined to look for an adventure, determined to look for travel, to look for whatever you want to look for, beautiful scenery, you name it, you can find it. It's really that easy, and it can be that nice. If you have a job and a way to support yourself, it makes it a whole lot easier, trust me. And then then you can afford to go out to dinner. You can afford to to go on the sites and things that you go to. You can afford to take a little mini vacation and spend the weekend in a motel somewhere if that's what you want to do, get a little break. There's a lot of things that you can do to really make your life really enhanced. I mean, super enhanced. And believe me, as you're out on the roads and in the drive, in the van, and you've been out there for some time, believe me, just a simple one-night stay in a cheapest motel you can find will completely rejuvenate you. So take the time to go in there and lay on a big king-size bed in the ice-cold air conditioning. Stop by the jacuzzi and go swimming that night, and even order pizza in. If that's what you want to do. There's ways that you can spoil yourself, and you know what? That little bit of spoiling money that it takes to do that is worth every single penny and dollar. I don't care if you do live in a $70,000 Class B motorhome, and you're in the van life. Believe me, even if it's brand new and things happen out there, you get tired and you just want a break. But that's the same way you are if you're in an apartment. You got locked in there in the same old routine. All you want to do is have a vacation. And most people work their entire life and their entire year for 2 weeks vacation, and then they're so wound up in their routine in life to where they don't even know what to do or even how to even enjoy themselves. So in that 2 weeks, what do? They usually end up doing chores around the house. They may go out for dinner or something like that, something special, that they normally don't get to do. But 2 weeks is nothing. Life should be arranged differently than that. I believe life should, you should live to your means. Live the best you can to your means. So if it means getting a job and doing your best, get the best van you can afford to buy. But I also believe no debt. Remember, when you go into debt, you end up sinking yourself. And all you do is put stress on you, and you're tying your hands, and you're forcing yourself to be a slave to the society. So, the best you can walk in this world is to be debt-free. So take that time and that moment to always remember, before you make that big giant purchase on some luxury item, that it's not what you really want. You really want to be debt-free. I don't care if you're driving a 1972 van that has 1 million miles on it and is broken down on one flat tire. You're better off in that being debt-free than you are a $30,000 vehicle, because now you have $700 a month car payment for 8 years or whatever stupid that they go out for nowadays. It's not even, you can't even buy a car, I don't think, for $30,000 anymore. It's more like $80,000. But anyway, you're getting off topic. Then you have the other people that really think that it's not even a one step up from homeless. It is homeless. No, it's not homeless, trust me. Sometimes you can feel like it's homeless, especially if your mindset allows you to think that you're homeless, because you're only homeless if your mind is set that way. Remember, all you are is houseless, and that's all right. There's nothing wrong with being somewhere that doesn't have a stick and brick somewhere. So, it's okay to live that. But if you're traveling full-time and you live in a van, then yes, you have a dwelling. And that dwelling can be and will be very comfortable to you as long as you take care of it and you work to get the ways and get things set up to where you can be comfortable. Take the time to travel with the weather, and that's the cheapest way to go. If not, do like I do, because of my health issues that I need that continued temperature. I have my generator, I have my air conditioning system, I have my heating system that I can run 24 hours a day. So these are things that can really enhance your life, but it can also be costly to get firstly set up and to maintain. So, you have to look at it that way as well. Remember, anything can happen. It can be possible. But to think you're homeless, or to think it's nothing but being homeless, you're sorely, sadly mistaken. Trust me. People that feel they're homeless, they don't have no clue what it is to be homeless. I deal with the homeless ministry. I've done it for 20-some years. And believe me, to be homeless, I've seen the struggles of some pretty tough people. And I've seen how some pretty weak people has become very tough because of it. There's nothing like having a police on you and forcing you to walk all night long. Every time you sit down, or you try to hide underneath a tree, or you lay down on a park bench, or you even close your eyes, you have someone coming by harassing you to get you moving again. And you have no way to get out. To be camped up into a tent and trying to hide away in some abandoned lot somewhere and snuggled underneath the bushes and trying to not even put your tent all the way up just so you can just have enough room to get in it. And then they come by and they'll wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll jerk you out of there. Not only will they not allow you to take any of your possessions with you, they'll make you walk down the street with nothing. And then when you leave, they take their knives and they literally cut your tents up and cut your backpacks and all your clothes and stuff up and leave them in a pile. That way, if you do return, you'll find nothing but rubble. This is what happens. I've seen this in quite a few places across the country. It's like it's a protocol. So, and then even if you go to the coalitions and things like that, if you're not scratching their back and not in with them and or the in crowd, you get shunned as well. You get your thumbs put up, that, well, I don't like you because you drink, or I don't like you because you're on drugs, or whatever it is. They have no compassion. It's what can you do for me? That's all they look at. And it's nothing but a information collection zone. So what I can say to you is to have respect for the ones that are out there. Have a little compassion for them, because I've seen what that is. I mean, people don't have no clue what it, like I said, to go without water and not have water. I mean, have you ever been completely without water for 24 hours? Ever? If you haven't, try it as an experiment one day. Just refuse to drink one drop of water or anything to drink at all, period, for 24 hours. And see how miserable you are by that next day. I guarantee you'll respect it, trust me. Try going without food for 3 days. Or better yet, try going without food and water for 3 days and see how you feel. I don't care if you're the most healthiest person in the earth, that does anything and everything fully hydrated, everything else in perfect condition. 3 days without food and water, you're on the verges of death. Trust me. So you don't understand what it's like to not even, to your energy to be drained completely out of your body and not even have enough energy to move yourself out of the sun. to even walk over a shade tree could be 50 feet away from you, but you don't have enough energy to walk over there to sit underneath that shade tree. That shows you just what it is to be homeless, or to be in the hot and the heat, and there's nothing you can do to get away from it. Nothing at all. No one will let you to come in their shops to get a little air conditioning or comfort. There's a lot of rough places. That's why the libraries and malls, even the malls, eventually will run you out. Especially if you're not taking care of yourself. If you're a little stinky or something else, trust me, they'll all run you out. They'll move you to the streets real fast, and they'll create a commotion just so they can call the cops on you. Most guys will go out, and I've even seen guys go out and actually commit small petty crimes like shoplifting or something like that, just so they can get arrested, so they can have their 30 days of a free bed and a free air conditioning. And I mean, to consider going to jail to get out of the elements and to stay out of the heat, there's something wrong. That's desperation, man. When you have to go to that depths to be able to escape what you have. To be up north in the middle of the winter, with snow 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet on the ground, and you're wandering around, you don't even hardly even have one little jacket on. There's definitely not enough to sustain your heat inside your own body. And you sit there and you freeze and you curl up, and every time the wind's blowing at 30, 40 miles an hour through the buildings, you don't know what that's like to be that cold, to where you're hiding anywhere possible. At night, you're waiting and hoping that people have cracks underneath their doors, to where you can snuggle up against the edge of the door and gain that little half inch of heat coming out from underneath their door to just survive the night. Or to walk around and find a steam vent, knowing good and well if you ever leave that steam vent, you're going to freeze to death, because you're going to be so wet by the time you get out of there, you won't know what to do. But that's the only thing you can find heat in. So you choose to be soaking wet at 0 degrees outside, but yet you're staying warm as long as you can snuggle up on that steam vent and allow that heat to sit there and penetrate your body and just try to get you through the night, knowing good and well you're going to pay the pain for the next morning because you're so wet, and then not even have a change of clothes to change into. So don't consider it being homeless, because if you consider van life being homeless, you have no clue what it's like to be homeless. Trust me. I mean, I know. I've dealt with it. I've seen it. That's what's made me have so much compassion, for those kind of people, the people that are in that desperate of need, because it's that desperate. It really is. I mean, I'm so compassionate. I even look after a young college child, one's going through college that is struggling, or, they're having a hard time, and, life's just not, I mean, it's my job to even ease their burdens if I can possibly make so. I mean, I want to encourage them. I want to lift them up. I want to give them something to look forward to in life. I want to know that life is not as bad as they think it is. Depression, you can be depressed. I don't care if you're a millionaire. You can live in a mansion. You can live around, hundreds of people, and you can still be lonely. You can still be depressed. So it's more than just being without someone or around someone. When you're out in the wilderness and you're alone, it's a difference of being alone than being lonely. So try to find that out and understand the truth about all that. But all I can say is, if that's all you can afford, and still keep yourself debt free, and not fall into the traps of this world, trying their best to get you committed and get you into debt and hold you like in bondage, do everything you can to flee that devil. Trust me. That devil will consume you, and before you know it, you're 60 years old and you still don't have nothing. And if you are lucky enough to have something, which people say, well, it's pretty tough, you find yourself 50, 60 years old and with nothing. Number one, they don't understand what happened in my life. They don't understand what happened in most people's lives. You get sick one time, trust me, you go into the hospital one time on any kind of event, I don't care how much money you got, you're bankrupt. That's just the way it is. And if not, they'll make sure you stay sick enough till they get all your money. So they'll keep you drugged up in pills, and they'll just barely get you enough to where you'll have another attack, and then you're back in again, and they'll just run that cycle over and over and over. That's the way life is. The pharmaceuticals will charge you, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a prescription, when they know darn well they could produce it for less than 25 cents for the whole bottle. But yet they nail you, and they force you to pay these stupid exorbitant prices. So take your time and to love each other and to protect each other. If you find someone that's struggling and not dealing with it very well, offer a hand up. If not, at least just offer a conversation. Sometimes just someone to sit there with you and just to converse, to have a conversation with. Someone to call just to put a smile on your face. Someone to call to get a little advice once in a while. Nothing wrong with that. And this is a compassion that we all should have for every human being. I don't care who they are or what their social status is. That's the way I am. That's the way I feel that I am. I have no alternative motives to do anything or to get anyone to do anything for me. All I do it for is because I love them as a person, and I'll do anything I can to make sure their life continues as easy as it possible. I want them to know what it's like to have a true friend, someone that they can pick up the phone and call at any time, day or night, and know that if I'm totally awake, I will answer that phone call. And I'll sit there with them as long as I have to make sure that they're okay, and to get and chat. And you know what? I get joy out of that. It's not a struggle to do that. It's actually, you can have joy doing that. You'd be surprised the kind of friends that you can make by doing just that. You can be surprised the kind of relationships you actually have. You become a tribe leader, you could say. Have someone that you can enjoy with. And if you're riding around with a tribe and you found someone that you can travel with or whatever, and you're married or whatever situation, and you have a partner, bless it, enjoy it, and cherish every moment you have, because things can change in just a blink of an eye. So what I wanted to talk about was that today, just to sort of give people a little bit of lift up. This world is just a total mess out there, and you know what, but it's getting better. It's like these college kids, that are struggling and going into debt on all the schools drive them crazy. What's wrong with taking 10 years to get through college if you can do it on a Pell Grant? Or you can do it on grants, or just taking whatever courses you can take that you can get free grant money for. You don't have to go full time for just 4 years to get through college. Trust me, you don't have to do it. You can do it part-time and do it in 6 or even 8 or even 10 and still be debt-free when you get out. So don't take the temptation of grabbing that free money. That free money will hurt you big time, trust me. That $2,000 or $3,000 loan or whatever you get, you'll be paying on that for the rest of your life, trust me. So it's not worth it. I would rather even consider maybe a trade school, because you can learn more from a trade school and actually have something tangible that you can get a really good job with. And you can get jobs in any field pretty much, with the trade school, some sort of a trade school. So, and you can make just as good of money. Trust me, you don't have to have an education to make big bucks. Most people that actually get, you're better off if you leave high school, go straight out there, get you a good career and start your career and really do nothing but pursue that career and learn a trade. If you become a master of a trade, trust me, you're making anywhere from $20 to $80 an hour. And you banking that kind of bucks around, believe me, by the time you turn 60 years old versus someone that went through 8 years of college, they just now catch up with you at that age. And the scale of who makes how much. So, and then finally they retire. Then you retire. And you're all still broke. After you retire, you're still broke. But anyway, that's a whole different subject about retirement. But anyway, Hey, get out there and love life, enjoy life as much as you can, and make a difference in this world. Make a difference. Because we're the only things that each other has. Be the true America that America was built for and protect it. God bless y'all.